Hey everyone, happy Tuesday and happy day 2 of the 5-day career affirmation challenge and mini course. Thank you all so much for coming back. I've been getting great feedback from you all about day 1 and really excited to jump into day 2. So let's go ahead and begin. For those of you that are new here, my name is Letitia Bird. I am a career coach. I'm all about helping my clients get the clarity, confidence, and control that they're looking for in their career. I want you all to walk into 2021 really stepping fully into your career greatness, not settling, not giving into doubt. And this is why this 5-day mini course is so important. So, if you have not already watched day 1, make sure you watch that. Okay. Make sure you do the activities with this challenge. So, each day, you're going to get a video from me. You're going to get a career affirmation. I want you to write it down, say it out loud 5 times, send it to a friend, print it out, post it on your social media. I don't care. I just want you to read it, know it, and fully embody it. Okay? Yesterday, day 1, we talked about the main things, those mental blocks and mental barriers and self-limiting beliefs that hold us back in our career. Awareness is important, right? Because once you're aware and once you acknowledge that, you're able to move past it. And I want you to say, you know what? Those self-limiting beliefs that I had in 2020, I'm not carrying that into 2021. So that was yesterday. Today, we are talking. Oh, the other thing I want to note before I get into today's topic is by the end of this challenge, by day 5, Friday of this week, I have a big announcement coming out. Big announcement coming out. So I want to make sure that you are staying tuned. You're watching these videos daily. You're doing the activities. Okay. So let's get into day 2. What are we talking about today? So we are going to be diving deep into what you're good at, what you're fulfilled by, and some things to consider as you are stepping into your career greatness in 2021. So the first thing I want to mention is that majority of people actually hate their jobs. There's a lot of studies and research out here that is saying that there are a lot of people not only that are disengaged at work, but they don't like what they do. I've been coaching for years and I've talked to hundreds, at this point, thousands of people about their careers. Let me tell you this, you don't need to seek external validation. You don't need to seek anything else from anybody but you. I want you to do what makes you happy in your career. I want you to do what you find to be enjoyable, what you're passionate about, the problems that you want to solve in the world. I want you to think about that as you consider your career. Okay, because let's talk about the things that make people unhappy in their job. Then we're going to turn around and I want to give you all some things to think about as you are considering your career moves next year. All right. And I want you to believe that these things can be true for you. So if you're lacking any type of clarity, this is a perfect video for you to be watching today. So why is the stats so high, right? Why are people so unhappy at their jobs? There's a few things. Perhaps it's their boss, right? A bad manager can make or break your job, right? Colleagues, if you don't like the people that you work with, if they're gossiping, if they're negative, if they're incompetent, y'all ever try to get something done with someone who doesn't know what they're doing? That can definitely bring your morale down. Perhaps it's the type of work. I've been in a career, I was in accounting and I did not enjoy it. I was so bored. I did not like I like looking at numbers as a business owner, but for someone else's business, I did not enjoy that. Perhaps it is your growth. you're really stagnant. And we talked about that yesterday, right? We talked about not allowing your employer to keep you stagnant. But yes, this happens a lot. Perhaps the work is boring, it's tedious, you're not growing. So there's a lot of things, but the biggest thing I want you to know is that fear of the unknown. I know that change is scary, but what if your next employer, what if your next career path is on the other side of that fear? You don't want to let fear of the unknown hold you back, right? So let's talk about the three keys that I want you all to consider as you are thinking about your career, okay? 3 keys. Get your pen and your notebook out. I got mine right here. So I want you to start writing these things down, y'all. I can't believe this whole mini course is free because I'm going to be dropping some nuggets. Okay, are you ready? Now, as you're thinking about self-discovery, all right, there's 3 things to consider here for self-discovery for your career. 1, talent. 1, talent. We'll talk about each. 2 is enjoyment. And then 3 is fulfillment. Let's go ahead and get into talent. You want to actually do something that you're good at, okay? I think that you deserve to, 1, have a job that you're good at, that you enjoy, and that you're fulfilled by. So as you're thinking about your career moves in 2021, I want you to remember those 3 things. TEF. Talent, enjoyment, and fulfillment. Talent. Here's some things to think about. What makes you distinctive in your work? Can you leverage this uniqueness to achieve a future you desire? What made me distinctive when I was in accounting? I was working this career that I did not love because I was great at talking to people. I was great at talking to my clients. I don't want to just say I was great at it, but I enjoyed and I was naturally good at developing relationships with people who I looked nothing like me. We had very limited things in common, but I was able to find things that we had in common. All right. I was able to win them over because I was in auditing. People don't like auditors, right? They looked at us like we were the IRS. With that being said, I took it as a challenge to get my clients to love me. Now, this skill carried forward with me when I became a recruiter, working in talent acquisition. You're talking to people, you're developing those relationships. As a career coach, I'm doing the same thing, right? Other things to think about with talent. What does your family and your friends come to you for, right? What are your gifts? What does the world need that you have? What are your personal strengths? Sometimes we don't take the time to acknowledge how dope we are. We don't have time to acknowledge our own strengths. I want you to think, about this year, 2020 in totality. And as awful as it's been, how have you been able to show up for yourself? How have you been able to show up for other people, right? What have you done? That's a talent right there. That is a talent. Some things to think about here. Ask people you trust and respect what they would say your top 3 to 5 skills are. Or when is a time you have observed me at my best? That's another question, another thing to think about. You'd be surprised at what people will say that you may not even recognize that you're really, really, really good at. One thing that my friends told me that I was good at a couple weeks ago, we did a girls' business retreat, and they said, not only are you a good friend and a good listener, but you hold us accountable. If I'm talking to them and they're facing a problem in their business, I'll say, okay, today's Wednesday. Let's check back in Saturday, Sunday, next week. I'll give you a call. I didn't realize that I was doing that, but they brought that up to me. I did that with my clients, of course, but that has permeated into my friendships. But it's a good thing, right? So again, you do want to think about what are those things that other people see in you that you may not be seeing in yourself, okay? This is not seeking external validation at all. This is just getting some clarity. What other things I want you to do? Look at your performance reviews. See what your company, your employer is saying about you. Look at your emails. Look at texts when you've received really good feedback. And I want you to hold on to those things, okay? I want you to take stock of the things that you've done this year. We'll talk a little bit more about this tomorrow as we start talking about your brag sheet and how to use that for negotiation, for a job application process, for getting promoted, for getting a raise. That's going to be really key. Second key is enjoyment. How do you define happiness? I want you to think about your lifestyle. Okay, I want you to think about your lifestyle. No, I get it. Our lifestyles have changed significantly because of COVID, right? But do you like having flex work hours? Do you like having time to be with your family? Do you like opportunities where you are able to do public speaking? Do you prefer to be behind the scenes? These are things that you really need to think about as you think about your preferences, your workplace preferences, and the things that give you joy. What problems do you like solving? Listen, knowing what you don't like too will get you closer to what it is that you do like. You may only like one aspect of your job, and that's okay. You can tap into that and you can pay attention to how you're feeling throughout the day. If you have not done this before in your work, I want you to pay attention to that. When are you really in the flow? When are you really working on something and you look up and you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize what time it was. I want you to lean into those things. So start to notice where you lose track of time, not only at work, but also at home. And this last key is fulfillment. What are your values? What are your values? What's important to you? Integrity, collaboration, community. What are those values? Another thing to think about is who do you want to help and why do you want to help them? I wanted to help women in the workplace because I know what it feels like to be underestimated, to be devalued, to not be respected. And that is how I am showing up for my clients day in and day out. Who do you do it for? Who do you do it for when you think about your career and your work? This is a great question if you're bored with your vision or if you're feeling stagnant. You can reroute your purpose and give yourself permission to reroute your purpose at any time. Who do you do it for? I do it for the women who are starting to lose hope, who are starting to lose confidence, who are starting to feel that they have no sense of control over their career because their employers aren't believing in them, right? That is who I do it for. So for you out there that's watching, I hope that this has been helpful as you really start to align how you want to show up and contribute in the world based on not just who you want to be, but how you want to live and the problems that you want to solve. Okay? I'm going to leave you all with this. You should love what you do. And I 200% feel very strongly about this. You should love what you do. We spend over a third of our lives working. I'm saying over 2,000 hours, 2,080 hours a year to be exact. That accumulates to thousands and thousands of hours over our career. You should love what you do. And it all comes down to this: energy, being energetically aligned. And if you hate your career, if you hate what you're doing, you're devoting a majority of your day to something that is draining, something that is not going to allow you to fully show up for other people and yourself. And you deserve more than that. You deserve better than that. And when you love what you do, that turns into better health, better relationships. It gives you more space to explore other areas and passions. It's going to allow you to be more creative and innovative in your field. I've seen where my clients were really unhappy at one job, right? And I'm not saying that you need to go out and quit your job because you hate it today. I'm just wanting you to do some self-exploration, some deep introspective work so that you can find something that you love, whether it is a new company, right? Or maybe it is a new job within the same company that you work for. But you fully deserve to love what you do. All right. So I will be following up via email with our affirmation for the day, as well as the journal prompts. And make sure you comment on this video, give me some love, respond to my email, let me know if this is helpful, and I can't wait to hear back from you. Thank you.